RPGs are some of the hardest and most in-depth games to build, but they're also one of the most loved genres of games out there. I've been an RPG fan since the beginning. We're talking Dungeons & Dragons, Ultima, Diablo, Final Fantasy, Fallout, Secret of Mana, and so many others. That's why when a new RPG is getting ready to launch, I want to be the first to check it out so I can give you all the intel you need to get in early. Today, I'm taking a look at 6 new up-and-coming crypto RPGs that have tokens or NFTs you can invest in, and they could be the next big RPG to be played by millions. It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here. We are at GIA headquarters, a gaming intelligence agency. Today we're talking all about RPGs. This is one of the most beloved genres, as we were talking about. I love RPGs. I think you guys do too. The depth, the story, the game loops, the immersion, right, that we can see with RPGs. And one of the things I really love about RPGs and crypto is they go together really great, right? Being able to take all the elements of an RPG, and especially an MMORPG, right, a multiplayer one, and fuse them with things like NFTs or tokens, it just makes perfect sense. In-game economies inside of an RPG can easily be tokenized, so can assets, right? Swords, weapons, characters, progressions, houses, all kinds of things can be NFTs inside these games. So crypto just works really well with these style of games, in my opinion. I think it's one of the most perfect matches when you talk about how do we incorporate crypto into games and what type of games. I think RPGs are definitely one at the top of the list when it comes to, it makes the most sense to me. Just makes so much sense. So today, we're gonna take a look at 6 newish type of RPGs. Most of them are not launched. They're not out there. They haven't been played a ton. They're a little bit under the radar for the most part, and I wanna make sure you guys know about them now and get in early. So let's go take a look at 6 of these RPGs that I think are worth taking a look at and have some big things coming up very soon that really could get you in on a ground floor to be earning their token or their NFTs or get to play them before anybody else. All right, first up we have Trinity of the Fabled. This is a very Souls-like RPG game, and I played this a little bit on the channel before. They do have an early alpha that you can play right now. It does say here that you can play it on Steam. I'm going to tell you a better way to actually play it, in my opinion here. But a really great look. If you love the Souls series or you love Elden Ring, this would definitely be one that you want to take a look at. In general, right now they have this kind of alpha gameplay. You can jump in. Here's a little bit of gameplay. And man, they have great bosses. It feels very much like a Souls game. And on top of that, you think about, okay, what about like an Elden Ring, but with tokens, with the tokenomic structure that is crypto based, inside of the game, but then also NFTs, right? Where you have NFT characters, NFT weapons, all those types of things. And like the look of this game is one of the best I've seen so far in the crypto industry. It plays very well, plays very smooth. You get to choose different kind of classes. The whole idea behind this and the Trinity is they have kind of 3 different factions. You have warriors, gods, and demons. And I think that's kind of an interesting take here. And so it does kind of depart a little bit from the kind of Souls look in some ways, I would say, and kind of feel with the NFT elements, right? With the NFT elements. Now, the interesting thing is, once again, blockchain integration here. You'll be able to mint items, characters, and weapons. They're also going to have a token that is launching very soon. The Abyss token is going to be an ERC20 token, and this is something that not a lot of people really know about, right? When we talk about this game, it has definitely been underneath the radar, in my opinion. I played it, but I don't see a lot of people really talking too much about it. But I do think this token could be really big when you talk about where we're at right now in this bull cycle and the quality of this game in particular. So the Abyss token is going to be something that you could be looking at here. Now, the interesting thing about this game is it's going to be on the Xenum ecosystem. It's a multi-chain ecosystem that allows the Fabled to quickly deploy their game and NFT collections on multiple blockchains. I thought that was actually pretty interesting, right? We're starting to see a lot more games go multi-chain. We're going to talk about another RPG that is going multi-chain too in this list, so pay attention, right? So I thought it was a pretty interesting thing to highlight here about the Fabled. Now, when it comes to the token utility, you're going to be able to use this for, it functions as the in-game currency for things like weapons, characters, items, also minting of those things, right? Buying and selling and trading in their marketplace, and then also to get things like arena event tickets, and then to be able to get your rewards. Now, the cool thing about this is they have kind of started a very low-key airdrop for this token as well. Once again, crazy that no one is talking about this, but they have the Abyss token airdrop campaign that just started here only a couple of weeks ago. And what they're doing this is they've started this campaign out with essentially some Zeely tasks and some Discord tasks, and you're essentially earning XP. Now, what they're doing is they've announced that these points will now be converted to Abyss tokens for the airdrop. So they put about 2% of the token supply aside that will be released over the next 24 months from the date of the TGE to reward their most loyal supporters. So basically getting in there, doing these quests, and hanging out in Discord for when they pop up, right? So they have a channel specifically in their Discord for that. And then you can also go and participate over on Zeely too. Like I said, this is one of those ones where there's not been a lot of hype around them, but I think as this token they actually get closer to the TGE, which we do know is going to be here very, very soon, I think we will see a lot more people talking about the Fabled, and the people who got in early now into this airdrop campaign, they'll be miles ahead of all the other plebes on Twitter who are like rushing to get into this last minute. Now, if you want to play the Fabled, like I said, you can get a mint pass or a mint NFT to be able to jump in and do that on Steam. But one of the best ways I've seen to do it is actually jumping onto Hyperplay. So if you get the Hyperplay, which is like a game installer, it's like a Web3 focused installer, right? Something similar to Steam or to Epic Games, and you can actually download it right there and play it instantly. So I think that's one of the best ways to go and do this. If you guys are going to jump in and play the Fabled, and you get to test it out right now in its early alpha state, and you can go in and play a couple of bosses. I played this and streamed it recently on my channel, so you can check out the footage there as well. Okay, up next is Colony. Colony is a brand new mode that is coming from Parallel. And when I say mode, it's really a standalone game. It's one of the most unique things that we've seen so far in crypto gaming, and I would even say outside of crypto gaming too. They call this a 1.5 kind of survival RPG AI focused game. And you can kind of see some footage here. And this is an AI agent that is exploring the colony or the surrounding area of the colony. Now, this is one of those games where you don't actually play the game. You own an AI agent avatar, and you kind of interact with him in what I would almost say is kind of like a god mode in a way, right? And he goes and does things autonomously within this ecosystem. Now, this is not like what you've seen with some of these autoplay games, where we've seen games that are in crypto like Mir 4, where you just press auto and he goes and does things. This is a true a high-level AI agent that is able to make his own kind of assumptions about the world, interact with other AI agents, be able to buy and sell things on his own. He has his own wallet attached. I mean, there's a lot of insane things going on with this game in particular. And I think this is going to really usher us into the next generation of RPGs. So this is something that you guys really should be taking a look at and note at. If you don't know Parallel is a trading card game. But, one of the most interesting things they've been doing and been working on is Colony here, right? Which is an AI agents focused game. And so Colony is a new AI-powered Web3 survival game, and it features autonomous AI agents called avatars. They're continuously learning from the world around them, and human players must guide and collaborate with their AI avatars, which feature a wide ranging of skills and capabilities to navigate a future Earth dotted with like distant colonies, all competing for survival. So that's kind of the basis for what Colony is. Now, the AI agents, they possess the ability to autonomously transact digital assets via dedicated Web3 wallets they control. So they literally have their own wallet that they can go and do things with, and they can make decisions and decide, oh, I want to buy that, or I want to sell that, or whatever it may be, right? And this enables them to kind of like trade with other in-game avatars, and these incorporates capabilities provided by what they call the Wayfinder project and its unique solutions to the challenge of AI agents which control digital wallets, right? So Wayfinder is a brand new AI focused project, and it's kind of what they call it is it's an omni-chain tool for enabling user-owned autonomous AI agents to securely and efficiently navigate across different blockchain ecosystems and applications while independently transacting assets they control via Web3 wallets. So it's essentially an API, or I would say an API, but really a tool set that allows games to be able to have their AI agents do this across multiple blockchains, which is actually a pretty big thing, right? When you talk about what is going on there. And there's also been some alluding that with Wayfinder, there is going to be a token called the prompt token, and that they are going to be suggesting, the Wayfinder Foundation is going to suggest to their community that 40% of the supply of this token be distributed to Parallel Colony and the Echelon Prime Foundation, right? So we could be looking at an airdrop if you stake or have Parallel Colony type of assets. This is just speculation, but it's very interesting in this case. Now, some more interesting things about Parallel is, basically what you're doing to play this game is you can pay Prime to create new AI avatars, or there will be a free option, I believe, right? There'll be a free option too, but you'll also be able to, jump in if you have a Parallel avatar NFT, right? Now, it is anticipated that the Echelon community governance process may consider introducing Parallel Universal Avatar series as NFTs on Solana. And this is one of the biggest news here recently in crypto gaming, is that Parallel has chosen to go and put Colony on Solana, right? Which is pretty big versus, it being on, Parallel being on Ethereum. So they look at this being a way to be able to expand the number of avatars they can have beyond the 11,000 they currently have. And there's also going to be a breeding mechanism which will open that up as well. So you'll be able to breed these avatars and create new ones to sell. This is definitely very reminiscent of something like an Axie Infinity, where they also had early breeding that was a big hit. Now, some other things that are interesting here as well. Within the colony, this structure extends to allow AI avatars to produce new game rules. When new rules are proposed, they are evaluated by Colony's AI Dungeon Master, and if approved, the Dungeon Master transforms the new rules into code that becomes the foundation for the new game behaviors and items available to all avatars. This is huge. Like, almost nobody's talking about this particular aspect, which I think is kind of crazy, but this is pretty big, man. The game itself is ruled by an AI Dungeon Master, and they can actually, the avatars can actually propose new game rules. The game can literally change by an AI avatar just saying, hey, you know what, I don't like these rules. And if the AI Dungeon Master says, yeah, that makes sense, man, we're gonna change the rules because of what you said, you as a player may not even have control over that, right? Maybe just your AI does, or maybe you've actually influenced your avatar to get the rules changed in your favor. That is some groundbreaking stuff right there. And actually that actual one little aspect makes me really excited about Colony here. Another thing I wanted to point out about Colony is, this is looking to be available to the public for an alpha gameplay here in Q4 of this year, or maybe early 2025. So we are pretty far out from when this is going to be playable, but you'll be able to explore limited surroundings. Your avatars will be able to eat, rest, go to the gym, mine and acquire resources, and then they're going to expand things beyond that. So a lot of interesting things going on here with Colony. Now, we do know the Prime token is going to be a centralized point of Colony, right? We know we're going to need Prime to be able to mint avatars there. We've seen the token completely skyrocket here over the last few weeks. I think that this token is going to do incredibly well. We've talked about it multiple times on the channel. So definitely something to look at. Also looking at the Parallel NFT avatars, they did go on quite a pump here just a couple of days ago on this news, and we saw them pump here early in mid-February too. But just in general, the last 3 months, they have definitely been climbing and are nearing around a 1 ETH floor. Might not be a bad idea to be looking at these right now as well. If you want to sign up, you can get into Parallel Colony. You gotta put your email address here to be one of the first to be notified when it is going to go live. I'll make sure that link is in the description here below. Okay, next up is Night Crows. This just launched. This is a brand new launched game. So out of all these other ones are kind of just an alpha. This is a fully launched game. There are thousands of people now playing Night Crows, and it just launched only 3 days ago on the 13th of March. Interesting game here. If you guys have played Mir 4, it plays a lot like that. It's more of like a medieval version of Mir 4 from the same company, and it has really great graphics. I mean, when you look at the game itself, but it is one of those games where it is very, very autoplay. Like, you're hitting an auto button and it's basically doing almost everything for you. Auto quests, auto fighting, auto everything. Now, some people really like that. And I think this works because the game is definitely a cross-platform game where you have it on mobile, you also have it on PC. I just played it recently on my channel. You guys can go check that out. But in general, I think a lot of people really enjoying playing this. The servers have been packed. You've had to wait quite a bit of time to get into a server just to play the game. So there is definitely a lot of interest in playing Night Crows. Now, the interesting thing about this is that they do have, NFT integration. They do have, assets in the game too that are, kind of tokenized currencies, we'll say. Now, they're not your traditional tokenized currency. So that's something you have to keep in mind. When you talk about some of the aspects of this game that are NFT aspects, they do have NFT minting of characters, right? Which is the big NFT in the game. So you can essentially level up your character and then mint it as an NFT and then sell that NFT on the marketplace. But there is a catch. You do need to be level 45 before you jump in here. And a lot of people who play this game early on have said that there is very much a pay-to-win economy in this game. So they do kind of push in a very mobile way, getting gold packages and upgrades through payment, right, as you're playing. Now, the interesting thing about this game is they have a multi-token, a 6 or 7 token system here, which is pretty hefty, right? The main token is the Crow token, right? But then they have all these other tokens that do specific things within the game. We're not going to go into every single token, but the Crow token is the main one. And this game is on the WeMix platform, which is very interesting. And everything is kind of within the WeMix ecosystem. So you can trade Crow that you're earning inside the game for WeMix and then go and trade that somewhere else, right? So that is an interesting thing about Night Crows. If you do like the autoplay functions of things, then I would definitely say check it out. Like I said, the graphics are top notch. Gameplay is not bad if, especially if you're more of a mobile player. I could see a lot of people playing this on mobile and, the gameplay goes pretty quickly and, they already have a really good questing system in place. And I think this is something that a lot of people will enjoy if that's kind of your genre. It's not my thing, I will say, but definitely go check it out and give it a try. And look at some of the earning aspects here, but do note that it is kind of level gated and that a lot of people have claimed that it is kind of a pay to win situation here. But, if they tokenize these assets and the Crow token can be pretty big here when people start earning inside the game as they've kind of progressed here, because right now it's just started. So we haven't seen a lot of data on how Crow is going to go as a token here within the WeMix industry. Okay, next up is Domi Online. This is a very Warcraft, like early Warcraft style feeling and looking RPG. Now, the token itself in the game has already been out for a while for holders for an early alpha state. They are getting ready to launch a brand new open alpha campaign here coming pretty soon. If we look at here, there's a little bit of game footage here. This is kind of a cinematic trailer from Domi, which looks really good. Now, funny enough, when you look at these trailers like this, like the game itself, I think looks pretty good, but the game does not look anything like this, right? Great trailer, looks cool, but the game itself really doesn't look like that. I'll show you a little bit of gameplay. This is actual in-game footage of Domi, and you can kind of see the look and feel of it. It definitely feels a little bit like a World of Warcraft, kind of has that kind of style to it. And, like I said, the exciting thing about this is where their token has been already launched, they are going into an open alpha here in March. So this should be dropping any day for everyone to jump in. Before that, it has been NFT gated and you weren't able to actually get in without having an NFT, which, we're kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, you got to get access to this game. And they weren't giving out alpha access until this thing is now opening up here in March. Now, the cool thing about this is you can earn inside this game already, and that's basically done through their leaderboard. You can see here are some of the people who have already been playing level 125 already in this early alpha. So interesting to see where people are really at and how much they've actually been playing and how high their scores are for some of these things. And I like that they kind of have different boards here, right? They just have like the player level board. These are the top level players. And they have people who are, do the most in melee, most in magic, most in ranged, most in fishing, which is kind of cool, right? So you're level in fishing. So a lot of those similar activities that you would normally see in a lot of different games, right? The token itself, like I said, has been out for a good amount of time, at about 4 cents right now. And we've seen that, it launched just at the tail end of the last bull cycle. So something to keep in mind, hitting an all-time high here of 40 cents, right? So we're at 4 cents. This could easily, if it gets back to all-time high, it could easily, you know, it's an easy 10x from where we're at right now. Obviously, the play was picking it up here at sub 1 cent, just here in you know, recently as November of last year. Now, Domi is working with Beam, which is pretty interesting, and also is an Avalanche-based project, but is going to be launching here on Beam, which is interesting too. So you can actually download it and be able to play through Beam on their Beam hub as they get ready to launch here into their March open play. All right, now we're jumping into some of the games that we don't have a ton of more information about, but MapleStory Universe is one of the new games coming from the MapleStory kind of ecosystem. They've been around for a long time, right? And you can see very pixel-oriented, side-scroll type of RPG. And this is very much a beloved IP, I would say. MapleStory, like I said, it has a lot of other bigger titles. They're not a brand new game, right? But this is their new blockchain version where, yes, they're going to have a token called NESO, which you'll be able to use to be able to buy and sell things inside of the game, and most likely earn as well. And they're going to be pushing some updates here pretty soon. Now, they did just sign a strategic update here with Avalanche. So we're going to see MapleStory Universe coming to Avalanche as one of their brand new games. And Avalanche has really been pushing pretty hard. So, you know, interesting to see what happens here with MapleStory Universe, how you can earn their token, how you can get inside the game, because we really don't have a ton of information about what they're trying to do here. But if you love this kind of side-scroll type of game, and maybe you've played the previous MapleStories, this would definitely be one to keep on your radar. I think the NESO token, when they launch it, doing some sort of TGE, which we don't have information about yet, also could be very big because of their existing IP and existing player base. Okay, last but not least, we have a brand new game called Vallarok that just released this trailer, and I thought it was so cool. This is a Viking-focused survival RPG, and it looks so good. You look at the gameplay, I mean, this is like prime UE5 style RPG, and this got me hyped. You know, they've been posting on social media for a few months now, but this is the first time we've seen this kind of high quality gameplay from them, and they're getting ready to ramp up for a lot of things. Now, we don't have much beyond just kind of this trailer and a couple of posts. Will they be doing a token? We don't know. Do they have a white paper out? Not yet. There's not a lot of information there, but this is something they have been building for multiple years already. We do know that. And so I'm interested to see where we go with this game, but definitely one to keep on your radar. I do believe they are going to have NFTs. They are going to have a token. We will keep you updated on this as I get more information, but I wanted to include this one even though it was very, very early on because it looks so good, and I'm interested to see where they're going to be going with Vallarok. Okay, agents, well, there you go. There's 6 RPGs. They're in various states of early gameplay, right? Where some of them are a little bit playable. They have alphas out there. Some of them have just launched or released, like Night Crows, and then we have some that like Vallarok and Colony, who are very mysterious. They've only released a small amount of in-game footage, but we know tokens and NFTs are coming, and they're ones you want to keep on your radar because, once again, getting in early on these games are very important. Remember about that Fabled airdrop. Once again, that's one of those things where you get in early now, you're farming before everybody else, you're going to get the maximum amount of rewards for when they do that big airdrop and they do a big TGE, and that's when the big payoff is, right? So definitely keep that on your radar. But that is all we have for today, agents. Let me know what you think about these RPGs in the comments below. Which one was your favorite? Which one can you just can't wait to play? Let me know. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.